So the ferry is going to Langdale and can hold cars and trucks. So right now we're entering on berth number 3 onto the ferry, joining all the cars and trucks, and they'll assign us a lane as to where we're going to park. And once we get on the ferry, we'll show you how we get upstairs. There's a full lounge and a full cafeteria where you can purchase food items. This is the actual ferry. And look how close the cars are. So we've left Horseshoe Bay, we've left Vancouver, on off to Sunshine Coast. What an amazing view as to what it looks like. The ferry looks like it's moving quite slow, but it's moving fast. Oh, here comes another ferry into Horseshoe Bay, which is coming from Nanaimo, much larger ferry. All right, we just got our breakfast. I'm having eggs, hash browns, and toast. And I'm having a Benny, egg Benny. So some basic information about ferries, how to get on them. You can do a reservation. You can drive up. You can even walk up onto the ferry if you like. The cost is about $17 if you just walk on. On the other side, you have to find your own transportation. The upside of bringing your own car, you can drive onto the ferry. A little bit expensive, but it gets you to your destination. Then you don't have to look for transportation on the other side, which is usually a little bit difficult because it's a smaller island. And transit is not as frequent as it could be. But we will show you that once we get to the other side. And once we have our breakfast, we will show you a little bit around the ferry and where are we going. Okay, so we're now arriving at the terminal, at the Langdale Ferry Terminal. Interesting thing about ferries that you also should know that we've learned over experience. It's always a good idea to reserve, especially when it's busy or long weekends. And that's always very, very tough to get on the ferry. Sometimes you could be waiting for 4 to 5 different sailings just to get on the ferry. And here's the entire view of all the islands. And that's the direction we just came from. And that's the entire island that we're going to be going on to. There's already another ferry waiting there, which is going to Nanaimo, which will be going on our next trip. We'll see you soon on the island. So now we're. So this is part of Gibson's. These are all the yachts that's parked here. These are people's personal boats, yachts, and they park it here. Look how beautiful it is. I know I keep saying how beautiful, but and this is an area where you can eat. So it's like a little barbecue place. And this is like a road. Look at all these beautiful homes that's on the top of this mountain. I don't know if you can see. See right on the top there. And then this is like a walkway on the water. So this is the water, the bay, and then this is the walkway. And that's where all the boats are parked. So this is all the different, like we get whales here, the big gray whale, and all the different varieties of fishes. The white dolphin, sea lions. We've actually seen sea lions here.
People always ask, like, it's a small island, so what's there to do? There's this walking tours that they do as well. Island itself is so beautiful that, you can spend a day here. So this is the gazebo at the very end of the walkway. Somebody is just taking their boat out, I guess, fishing. We got salmon here, all sorts, pink, coho, different varieties. Look how beautiful. See, there's the fisherman with his small boat going out. This, all these other ones as well. Show you the water. Look how clear it is. And there's all these rocks on the side. Somebody walking their dog down there. So probably that person lives on the boat. Yeah, they do. Even though there's so many boats, look how clean the water is. It's mandated very well here. So these are blackberries, and they grow all over the place here.
Those no 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 those oh this is those black those black cherries.
Because there's so many.
ये ब्लैकबेरीज जो है यहाँ पर नेचुरली उगते हैं, तो चलते फिरते कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है, जिसको जितना खाना है आप खा लो। काफ़ी टाइम तो अपना डब्बा भी साथ लेके आओ और उसमें थोड़ा भर लो। अगर रास्ते में कहीं भी आइलैंड पे कहीं भी सड़क पे ये उगते रहते हैं, और इसमें कोई डेंजर्स नहीं है। ब्लैकबेरीज आर एक्चुअली गुड फॉर हेल्थ, सो डेफिनेटली लुक आउट फॉर दिस और देखिए इनको, एंजॉय कीजिए। There's been enjoying some wonderful blackberries. Look at that.
camping up there again on that side. And the one that I was saying that is a camper van in the back there. That's a washroom or a few.
So इस कैंपिंग ग्राउंड का नाम है रॉबर्ट्स क्रीक प्रोविंशियल पार्क और ये इसका पूरा मैप है. और आपकी रजिस्ट्रेशन आप बीसी पार्क्स पे जाके रजिस्ट्रेशन कर सकते हैं अगर आपको ओवरनाइट कैंपिंग करनी है यहाँ पर. प्लस इसके साथ ये इसके सारे रूल्स और रेगुलेशन सब यहाँ पोस्टेड होते हैं. There you go. जैसे आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पर ऑमलप्स रखे हुए हैं. आप अपनी पोस्ट का नंबर जहाँ पर आप कैंप करने वाले हैं वहाँ ओवरनाइट रजिस्ट्रेशन ये भर के फिल करके आप भेज दो कितने दिन आप रुक रहे हैं, लाइसेंस प्लेट नंबर क्या है, इमरजेंसी कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर, और इसको भर के इसके स्लॉट में डाल दीजिए. एंड दैट्स ऑल यू नीड टू डू. अगर कैंप साइट खाली है तो आप उसका पूरा इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं.
So this is another, this is actually by the ocean. And look how beautiful. It's like a walkway. And then you could go down here. People fishing again. And this is a place to eat. Sorry, the cars are going, so it's busy.
Morning everyone. Today we are at Watson Ferry Terminal going over to Victoria. 2-day small trip. That's the lineup for the ferry right behind me. As you can see, we're going to be boarding the ship soon. I'll give you a little bit of details about the ship. The ferry is delayed due to some medical emergency that took place this morning. Nevertheless, we shall get on the ferry soon. And look at the ominous skies behind us.
Your attention, please.
Now,
All drivers and
that
passengers,
is
please return
the
to your
ashes
vehicle.
from Mount St.
The crew
Helens
is ready to welcome you
that
on board
actually
for your trip to
went
Victoria.
off a few
Parking
years
within
ago
24 inches
in the
or 60
80s.
centimeters of the vehicle in front of you.
And I guess
will
that's
improve
the
chances
announcement
of
for us to get on the
successfully
ferry.
making this sailing.
So I guess we'll
Throw
see you on the
seatbelt,
ferry
closed
shortly
and tagged prior to boarding,
and tell you a
and
little bit
road
about the
crossing.
ferry, how to get on
Please
it,
drive
what's
slowly
available
and
on the
follow directions
ferry,
of terminal staff when boarding
and
the vessel.
क्या क्या खा सकते हैं.
Remember to buckle up, put your
Our
cell phones
ferry
down,
का board
and
करने का
motorcyclists,
procedure,
put your helmets
cost,
on. Your
we'll share
safety
that
is
all
important
with you.
to us. But passengers,
Now, at the ferry terminal, you have a little section where you can eat food, get your morning breakfast. Lots of small shops, a little bit of trinkets for your souvenirs. This is all from Zimbabwe, I believe, in my past travels. That's where these artifacts have come from. But mainly you want to get coffee or breakfast or even lunch. It's open all the time while the ferries are coming in and out of the terminal.
So this is how we board onto the ferry. There's the ferry. This is how you go up the platform. That's how many people or cars have actually boarded already.
161.
And this is the massive ferry that takes that many cars, and there's cars, buses, big rigs. they're called tractor trailers. So all the stuff that goes from the mainland, from Vancouver to the islands, goes on these big ferries. This is the opening. And look at the number of cars that are already here. Very systematic.
All right, we have finally left Vancouver, or it's Watson Ferry Terminal, and we are now on our way to Shorts Bay. ये सफर अब 1.5 घंटे का है. अभी तो हम पूरे ऊपर डेक के ऊपर डेक अपर डेक के ऊपर हैं. Look at all the beautiful islands along the coast. और बीच में अभी हम 2-3 islands क्रॉस करेंगे. एक तो main island हो जाएगा, and there's going to be a very interesting active pass that we will show you. जहाँ पर एक और ferry हमें क्रॉस करेगी, which is going back to जहाँ से हम आए थे. This is the other side of the ferry. Abhi actually ferry is just turning itself around to point in the right direction. And here's another ferry on its way. जो शायद Nanaimo, which is another island, वहाँ से आ रही है. और Harbour में अभी एक ferry और wait कर रही है, which is going to another island, which is known as Salt Spring Island. So as we continue our journey, we'll keep updating as to all the interesting islands and ocean life. If we're lucky, अगर देखने को मिलेगा ज़रूर दिखाएंगे. Beautiful day to be sailing. See you shortly. All right, we just grabbed some breakfast. My wife bought hash browns and a Benny and some fresh tomatoes, bagels, coffee. And I got Sunnyside, hash browns, some salsa, and some toast. Now these are mainly the options available on the ferry itself. There's a lot of other options available. You can actually substitute what you would like, and you can actually specialize, customize to your liking. Just to continue our journey, we just had our breakfast. Thought I'd come on deck as to now we're getting to the interesting part of the journey. See some of the most beautiful houses on the island. That's a Saturno island that we're looking at right now. Houses right on the water. Extremely calm sea today. Look at the glassy water right in front of us. And the sun is barely trying to creep itself through the clouds, hidden behind all the cloud ash that I mentioned earlier today. There's the big turn as we were going to go through this active pass. It's called. It's basically like a zigzag that the ferry makes. Alongside the coastline. I believe that's Main Island. That's the active pass up. We're going to go right through. It's a sight to be seen. When we get to the other side, you'll be able to see it. As we continue moving towards Victoria, thought I'd share a few things about getting on the ferry. तरीके तो बहुत सारे हैं to get on the ferry. One is simple. You drive up with your car, get in the lineup, get on the ferry. You can also make a reservation. I think BC Ferry charges you about $20 to $25 to make the reservation, and you must be at the terminal 30 minutes prior to departure or it will get cancelled. In In that instance, you will lose your reservation fee and you will go back on standby. Best time to travel actually during the summer because the weather is always nice. You can count on it and you can bank on the sunshine. But I prefer to travel usually around this time of year, starting from September. Lean season, weather's still nice, comparable. Think of it, look at that wonderful house right on the coast. So, getting back to time of travel, I like low traffic, less hustle bustle. Guaranteed you'll get on the ferry. वहाँ पे पहुँच जाओगे आराम से. Victoria में become traffic, easy to get into places to eat, parking, all those things are considered. And the time of year is nice. Average temperature between during the day between 18 to 23. Of course, October onwards, it starts to get a little cooler. Need a jacket or whatnot. Now that we've made the pass, now we're onwards and upwards straight to Victoria. Same thing getting on the ferry. Once you're on the ferry, make sure you stay in the car as long as you can till all the cars have stopped. Most of the accidents happen at that time usually. Then you can get on, move, and also remember which deck you park the car on, because not all ferries are the same. And then it can become a challenge to find your car once you're trying to get off. You can go upstairs, go in the lounge, have some breakfast, lunch, depending on what time of day you're traveling. Breakfast or lunch or meals on the ferry in general, a little bit on the higher side. Now that they serve beer and wine, so be careful about that as well. But all in all, it's a good experience. There we go. We got another ferry coming right towards us. We're just coming from Victoria, going to Tawasin, where we came from. And that's where we are headed. Here we are. That's Victoria right in front of us, Victoria Harbour. That's the coastline. That's the parking deck right behind me. All right, we finally arrived in Victoria, and this is one of the many beaches called Spiral Beach. I'll give you a view of that. Some of these amazing houses that have this incredible view what it's like to live in one of these. And दूर सामने you see that mist coming off the ocean with all the heat rising. All of a sudden it's 25 degrees Celsius. Listen to the waves. समुद्र के किनारे the waves चट्टानों से लड़ रही हैं जैसे हम अपनी ज़िंदगी से लड़ रहे हैं रोज़ रोज़. Look at all the logs, all the wood that is washed up from the ocean. As if it's trying to get away from something. We came here to rest. Someone's built a nice little home. Sort of a refuge away from the ocean. All right, touring all through Victoria all day today. We just checked into a hotel for which we'll give you the astounding review of the atrocious room for the charges we're getting billed at. Definitely would want you to come and have a look at that room, and please avoid staying at that place. As the sun goes down and our day comes to an end and tomorrow is another day, just thought I'd share how Victoria looks as the sun goes down, as the night falls and the lights come on. We just had breakfast, or having breakfast at the Floyd's Diner right beside the hotel we're staying at. Thought I'd share some of the cool pictures on the wall, especially that one. Some of us from nostalgic from the 70s and 80s will definitely recognize all the bombs on the wall. This is my favorite, the Breakfast Club. And I don't know, from the 80s, Mick Jagger with the McDonald's. And then we've got Terminator and RoboCop, which is another cool one. And another one of my favorites, I think a lot of people relate, Bryan Adams. Hi guys, as promised yesterday, to give you a review on the hotel we stayed at. Did not get a chance to take a video last night. Had some serious issues with our recording equipment. So this is the hotel, right located on Quebec Street in the heart of Victoria. This is where we stayed last night. Nice location, excellent in terms of getting around, walking distance from all the places, well manicured gardens. Landscape is well done, looks like it's maintained fairly well. And that's the site of the breakfast where we had, which we will further update. That's where we ate at the diner, which is attached to the hotel.
This is downtown Victoria. Going on the main strip here. Fir trees. Juniper, fir. Oh, this is 50 feet, right?
Yeah.
40, 50 feet.
So this is the Malahat Skywalk that we're walking along. Slightly elevated structure with 8 degrees incline.
Eagles.
A couple of eagles visiting.
Zoom in.
Alright, just to give an idea where we're going. I'm climbing all the way up that structure. The whole thing is one big spiral where you just keep walking up, and that's the slide you come down in. And as you go up the circle and the spiral, your view just starts to getting amazing. All right, so as you can see, we're climbing up slowly but surely. The views are unbelievable, as you can see behind me, just to give a perspective as to what this looks like, as to how it's designed. And there's a slide right behind me here that you decide to come down quickly. That's how you come down. And as you get higher, just to give you an idea as to how we climb, go over all the levels, all across. That's where we're headed to. And that's a spiral case that comes down where you can actually come down quickly and then go on the slide. It takes about 8 to 10 seconds to come down. People in the class were complaining that the slide takes too long. And there's the beam walking up. All around the entire valley. Just to give you an idea of the 360-degree view from the very top, as to how we climbed up and how the view got better as we got higher. A little bit of information about the Malahat Skywalk. The entry fee is about $47 per person. Takes you about 35 to 40 minutes to climb up. You can take your time because there's no stairs the way they've designed it. बहुत आसान है चढ़ना, not that difficult. Anybody can do it. Eagles are commonly found, that they put this here so that you can try yourself out if the eagle was to land on your arm. The bean looks great in that. Definitely try it when you come down here. Just to give a perspective on the structure, 161 stairs, staircase, 30 meters, 98.4 feet tall, and as wide as a football or a soccer field.
So honey is going into.
Yeah, you can sit up the whole way.
Look,
All
honey.
did their own.
There's a little bit of a beach stretch here. I heard people saying that they go sit there. See? There's a nice area where you can sit around in these beautiful colored chairs. Can have a coffee and all that in this area. Really beautiful. There's Bhupesh sitting there on the chair, beautiful chairs. He took this sliding thing down. This one. It's from up there, way up there. So it goes down like a spiral pipe. Not very. From Duke Point, which is Nanaimo, back to Vancouver. I'll show you more of the ferry and all that when it comes up. And these are all the different types of vehicles. So there's cars, trucks, as we mentioned even earlier. So look at the big trucks. They carry all the goods back and forth from the island to mainland and vice versa. So this is in Nanaimo. It's by the ferry. We're not able to catch the ferry right now. So now we're gonna drive to Victoria, which is another hour from here. But look at the ocean, very beautiful. Just wanted to show you guys. Ocean, mountains, we have everything here. Just extremely beautiful, serene, clean air.
guys, we're back. We were trying to get on the ferry earlier this afternoon. As Amin mentioned, that we were trying to leave Duke Point, which was another terminal north side of the island, so we could show you the other side. But as soon as we have it,
outside deck, the ship was about sound. Cross speeds north. Cavaliers, ship was
looks like the ship's departing. All right, back to where we were. As I was mentioning, we were trying to get on the ferry, and as you can see, there's a lineup behind me that did not get on this ferry. They were planning on it, and fate would have it, Fridays tend to be like this from the island. And we were trying to get on the ferry at 3:55. There was a 2 sailing wait. We would have had to wait till 6 p.m. So we decided to drive another 100 and some odd kilometers to get to this side to catch this particular ferry. But all worked out fairly well. We got on the ferry at 6 p.m. It's a 1.5 hour sailing. We should be home in an hour and a half. And I can see behind me we have just departed, and we are definitely have left. Just to give you a view. Here we go. We have officially left Victoria. As the sun is starting to set a little bit, we'll definitely get some incredible views. Hopefully this time of the day, hopefully some dolphins or local sea life will come to visit as well, and we'll be able to show you that. Key things about the ferries again: when you're traveling on Friday, you have the option to, of course, make a reservation, which usually costs about $25. Then you're guaranteed on, but you must arrive at the ferry terminal 30 minutes prior to departure. That's the only way